Hi everyone, Andrew here, and I am here with my first impressions of Starfield. So for those of you who've been living under a box or hiding somewhere and haven't actually seen any news about this, Starfield is a game that has been in the news quite a lot recently as it is an Xbox exclusive game. It is, well, not totally exclusive, it's on the PC as well, but it's not going to be on PlayStation, apparently. So if you're a PlayStation person, unfortunately, you're going to have to play this somewhere else. The whole point of Starfield, as far as I can tell, I think it's about 3 hours that I've played it, is it's a space opera, essentially. You have a character, you have a guy, you have to level him up, you go on missions, and doing those missions you level up. There is a story quest to solve, which is what I'm currently playing through right now, so I don't want to spoil things for anyone. Plus I'm not very far into it. I mean, I think I've basically finished the tutorial mission, so I'm going to talk quite openly about the tutorial mission. Hopefully that won't be a big issue for people, and there's no chance of me spoiling any of the juicier stuff that comes later because I haven't seen it yet. So hopefully that's not going to be an issue. Anyway, you start off little mining guy in a mining colony somewhere. Your boss has set up a meet with somebody. You have to go mine something at the beginning. You don't know what it is. It turns out it's some kind of artifact which, once you recover it, has a weird effect on you. And then the guy who organised the job comes to collect it, and when you go to meet him, you are attacked by pirates, which is what you see on screen right now. The pirates, actually, I don't know, they're easy pirates, so they're not too aggressive. I mean, as you can see, they could have easily killed me here, but they're kind of like standing around waiting for me to shoot them, which I'm not complaining about. But we'll see later on how hard they get, or if things improve as I get to higher levels. In the meantime though, I mean, graphic-wise, I like the look of the game. I think it's really nicely done. By default, it does have like a film grain effect on it. I turn that off though. I hate the film grain things. It had blur on there as well, but I turn off blur because those are just effects that annoy me. They really do. Sound-wise, sound is great. You can hear people running around. You can hear people coming up behind you. The music is fantastic. I really like the music, and at times it's really kind of Star Trek-y, the way it sounds. Once you hear it, you'll know what I mean. It's very nice music, and it fits the game, and I think you'll like it too. Anyway, as you can see now, this is the guy on screen who wanted to buy the artifact from us, or ordered the artifact from us. And now, because apparently I did such a bang-up job of defeating the pirates, he's going to give me his ship and his robot so I can go take the artifact back to some mysterious conglomerate. Apparently what helps is that when I retrieve the artifact, I also had a vision, and so he wants me to relay that vision to, whoever. I don't know yet because I haven't played that far. On one side, it's kind of a flimsy premise for you to suddenly get a spaceship, a robot, and a starter kit, but at the same point they needed to get you out of the tutorial. They needed to get you traveling between planets, so I don't mind. If this is the way they want to do it, that's fine with me. I shot some pirates. My reward was a spaceship and a robot. The robot doesn't seem too friendly at the moment. I mean, he follows me around, he helps me, but definitely doesn't want to be my friend. We'll see if that changes. The spaceship, I mean, it's a spaceship. I don't know what else to say about it. But what's nice for me is that you can actually walk around inside the spaceship. You can interact with objects. I did a lot of that. I just skipped it to show you the cockpit, but before I went to the cockpit I did a lot of running around and looking in the cupboards and stuff. So it's just kind of nice that there's that that level of detail that you can do that stuff. Okay, and now you actually can fly off in the spaceship. Now, one of the things that people have been complaining about in this game is that, unlike some games, for example No Man's Sky, you can't literally by yourself fly up off the planet and down to the planet. It's always a cutscene like this. But to be honest with you, from my side, I do not mind at all. One little bit. I mean, okay, sometimes, yes, it would be nice to fly in there and land. Other times, I don't mind. But the most important part for me is because I love space. I'm a big space fan. I just love everything about it, and just being here inside the cockpit of a spaceship and seeing planets and stars and so on, love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I hope that there's going to be some kind of, I don't know, different planets, different anomalies, different just anything space, you know what I mean? Just something out there that I can find or I can explore, so we'll come to that. Right now there's the space combat tutorial where you learn how to fly the spaceship. It plays a little bit like some of the Star Wars games where you have energy that you have to pour into your guns, into your shields, or into your engine. Right now in the tutorial, you don't really need to worry about it. I'm sure later on that's going to be a thing, so you're going to have to decide when you're being attacked if you need to boost your shields or your engines or your guns or whatever's going on. But right now in the I can't even speak anymore. In the tutorial, as I say, it's fine. But the combat is nice. I mean, the ship's responsive, it's satisfying. You get to take the shields down first and then actually damage the ship. The ships leave debris that you can also find objects in that you can loot that I assume will be useful later on for missions or crafting or something like this. So yeah, for me, the space part is great. I'm really happy with it. And the actual dogfighting, I mean, as you can see yourself, it's nine. It's fluid. It's nine. It's fine. It's fluid. It's responsive. The controls just do what you ask them to do. And I know these are easy guys to take down, but I didn't have the feeling that my weapons were ineffective or I was just throwing peas at a rock or something. So this first little tutorial bit was fantastic for me. Did a great job of pulling me into the game, teaching me how to fly the spaceship. I mean, you can see there on the left hand side, those bars represent your energy levels. On the right hand side, it's your shield and hull. The stuff in the middle, I think, is there just for decoration. I mean, those panels at the bottom. And then on the HUD itself, on the left side, you've got your speed. On the right side, you've got the boost, so you can actually use afterburners, I don't know how else to call them if you need to. And then you can shoot with lasers, with a Gatling gun. I'm sure that later on, because I've seen people building their own ships and upgrading them, and there are people who've built ships that look like an X-Wing or the Millennium Falcon, or I mean, you think of a famous spaceship that you know from somewhere, and somebody's probably already built a version of it in Starfield. I mean, it's really that customizable, and it's one part of the game that I'm looking forward to, that I can build my own ship and just go exploring with it. But right now, you know, our job is just to get to, I think it's this, let's call it the pirate homeworld, because as our robot friend told us, if we don't go stop the pirates, they're going to keep coming after us. So we fly to the pirate homeworld and we're looking for the pirate base. I actually made a mistake here because there's two locations on the planet where you can go to. One of them is the pirate's base directly. You don't really need to even look for it in the tutorial. But I landed somewhere else on the planet and I spent maybe an hour walking around, exploring, fighting these kind of monsters, looting stuff off the planet. I found some new weapons, some new stuff, and to be honest with you, I wasn't bored at all. I was really happy. I mean, this is kind of a moon rock, so there's very little plant life on here, but I was happy. And I managed to run through some poisonous cloud where I damaged my health, and so my lungs were injured, and then I got sick and I had a cough, and every time I coughed my oxygen went down, and so then I had to find some medication to heal me, and then run around. Well, I assume it was the running that helped doing it, the helped me get fit enough again, my lungs healed and I could carry on. So I thought that was a nice touch as well. At the moment I haven't got hungry in sense of that it would nag me that you would need to eat something. Maybe that will be a thing later on, but I thought it was a nice touch that you can't just run through poison clouds or something and just ignore it like it's not there. You have to be careful. It has an effect on you. So that's a big plus for me, that the environment is something that you need to be wary of. While I was running around on this planet as well, I found some local inhabitants. Some were mainly hostile towards me and just attacked me on sight. Another one was kind of friendly, just sharing some information with me. I won't tell you what, because I don't want to spoil anything. Sometimes there's those grub things that you can see, kind of a bit like the face huggers from Aliens. But now we're actually inside the pirate base itself, and we're looking for the pirate captain. I'm not going to show you all of the combat in here, but just a couple of scenes so you can kind of get a feel for it. I managed to steal some weapons from killing other people and killing a couple of the pirates, which is nice that you can loot them and get their gear from them. And most of the combat in here I think is really nicely done. If you do a headshot, it's a critical hit. If you shoot them in the shoulders, they snap backwards. I mean, I haven't had a problem yet with the physics of the game. I know some people have mentioned that, you know, the physics is sometimes a bit wonky. We'll see. From my side, it's been fine. Another little thing that I came across is that every now and then, apparently, you can find a safe, and you have to learn how to pick them. This is a skill that you can develop in the game. So when you're playing the game, you earn skill points, and you can develop certain skills. Lock picking is one of them. At the moment, as you can see, where it says security level novice, my lock picking skill is quite low, and at this stage I have no clue what I'm doing because I was skipping through the helpful, you know, prompts and whatever, and it took me a while to notice that there was actually a key for the safe on the table next to the safe. So yes, well done, Andrew. But once I got the hang of it, I mean, as you can see yourself, it's not that complicated. It's fairly simple to do, and I think it's just a nice little extra element in the game. And this is what was inside the safe. No idea if any of that's good yet, we'll see, but it's just all these little touches. And here's another pirate, and you can see, look, boom, 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 some headshots, and he staggers backwards, you know. So I think they did this really well. And when I go up this ladder, I'm going to fight the pirate boss. But I actually think this is probably where I'm going to stop, because I don't want to spoil what happens afterwards. Let's just say my first impressions of this game is that it is brilliant. I love it. I'm looking forward to playing other levels. I'm looking forward to finding other planets and playing through the main story and leveling up my character and getting new skills and new abilities. I'm looking forward to the ship and playing with that and customizing that. I guess the short version is, if you haven't played this game yet, you really owe it to yourself to give it a try. I know there's other good games out there, other good space games. I mean, a lot of people like No Man's Sky. I kind of couldn't get into No Man's Sky. I don't know why. Maybe now with all the updates and things it's changed and I need to go back and give it a try. But right now, this game has me hooked, and I'm sure it will have you hooked too. Enjoy.